48 million U.S. homes are located in areas at high risk to wildlife. Now, here to tell us how we can protect our homes and our neighborhoods is Michele Steinberg, Director, Wildlife Division, National Fire Protection Association. Good morning, Michele. How are you?
Good morning. Doing very well. Thank you.
That's good. So, removing fuel sources from 5 foot perimeter around home, tell us about that. What's going on with that?
Right. So, to get ready for wildfire, what we advise people to do is to remove anything right on or near the home that can burn. And what we're finding is when wildfires impact communities, it's mainly because the embers, the little burning pieces of material, are blowing in from the main part of the fire to land right around our homes in gutters and that 5 foot space right near our foundation. So we don't want anything in that area that can burn, that can catch the embers and cause them to smolder and then ignite the sides or other parts of our home.
What's interesting is this is going to be the following week after Wildlife Community Preparedness Day, which actually happened on the 3rd. Can you tell us what is Wildlife Community Preparedness Day?
Right. So Wildfire Community Preparedness Day is a celebration and an opportunity for people to learn about wildfire risk, to get together with their families and their neighbors to start to do those projects, such as in that first 5 foot zone, clearing out gutters, clearing out decks, maybe working along fence lines, which wooden fences can act like wicks that bring fire into the close proximity to homes, and then working with their neighbors. So it's a really great day to get neighborhood action going.
Now, what can people do to help protect their homes, and what are some examples of risk reduction projects?
Right. So we mentioned doing those sort of cleanup areas of dead vegetation, mulch, things like that. But people can also look around the home to see if there's any openings, such as vents, whether they be the garage vents near the ground or up in the attic. You can put metal mesh screening there to prevent the entry of embers, because we don't want embers going inside the home. And then also working across your property with your neighbor, because if your home should ignite and burn, it can present a problem for your neighbor and vice versa. So doing those joint projects and even helping people that maybe can't help themselves get rid of material that could be fuel for fires on their property.
Now, tell us about the home ignition zone and its significance.
Right. So that's a term, home ignition zone, that was coined by scientists to describe the home itself and everything around it within no more than 100 feet. That's the area we can make those changes to minimize the likelihood that embers are going to ignite things on or around our home, and to break that cycle or break that pathway that fire would normally have to ignite our home and ignite our neighbor's home. So it's really important we do the work within that home ignition zone.
Now, what areas of the country are at risk for wildfires?
Right. So pretty much anywhere in the country, it's possible to have wildfire impacting property, because we live in so many beautiful natural areas that fire is a part of. So fire, just like the sunshine and the rain, that is part of the plants and animals' life cycles, and they need fire to clean out undergrowth, put minerals back in the soil, and so forth. So when we build in these beautiful natural areas, we have to be aware that fire is part of the landscape, and it's something we need to get prepared for.
Now, during the January fires in Southern California, why did some homes survive while others were destroyed?
Right. So I actually had the privilege to be on the scene a few weeks after the fires started in January, and firefighters took me to places, of course, that had seen a lot of devastation and destruction, but there were homes that were protected. There were homes where people did the work ahead of time, really invested in changing out their landscaping, making some modifications to their houses, and that paid off big time, because those homes did not ignite. There were no firefighters there at those particular homes because it was such a big event, but those homes were there when the homeowners came back. Those homes survived.
Now, why is it important to prepare homes well in advance of wildfires?
Right. So with wildfires, it's not like a kitchen fire where we can call 911 and somebody shows up right to our house. Wildfires mean that many homes are exposed at once. And when we have conditions like strong winds, dry, hot weather, fires can move fast. So what we want people to do when fire is coming is to get their families and their pets and get to safety, get out of that home, get out of that dangerous area. That's why we want to prepare homes way in advance. We don't want people to be doing that at the time of the fire. We want them to get to safety.
Michele, where can we go for more information?
We'd love it if people would visit wildfireprepday.org. That is our website on NFPA that gives you all the great information about Wildfire Community Preparedness Day and all the actions you can take at any time of the year.
One last question I got to ask you, Michele. When you talk about embers in the air, what about urban
Yes.
areas? How dangerous is that if somebody's got a really wooded backyard?
Right. So really, that's the thing. These fires don't need to be big to cause problems to our homes. And so we want to make sure if we do have a woodlot or a heavily forested area near our home, that we're doing everything we can to create that little bit of space. Again, starting with your home and working out into your yard, that should fire approach, that you're breaking up the pathway for flames and, of course, to protect against embers.
I've been speaking with Michele Steinberg, Director, Wildfire Division, National Fire Protection Association. Michele, we really appreciate this information. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend.
It was my pleasure.